Whoa, here we go. Instagram Live, even better than just normal Instagram. This is the topic, how to reset your normal. That's what someone actually sent me a message about yesterday. They said what we should talk about today is how to reset your normal. I don't actually know what normal is for a lot of people, and I think that's where the biggest problem starts. How do you define your normal? What's normal to you? What's normal to me? Might be different. Your normal might be up here. My normal might be down there. There's all sorts of different normals. So this is the topic, how to reset your normal. Good afternoon, everyone that's joined. Hope your boss isn't looking over you. And hope you've worked super hard on this Thursday. And for those of you that came to Inner Talks this morning, thank you so much for coming. I hope you had a super good time. Inner Talks 15 was this morning. It was super awesome with Sarah Usher. You're going to see that on the Inner Fight podcast next Thursday, podcast number 414. Go and check that out next Thursday. If you missed the talk this morning, we're going to replay that next Thursday. So you'll be able to get it in iTunes. You'll also be able to get the video version. That was an amazing story about Sarah who sailed around the world in a Clipper, or she did 4 legs, which is a number of races as part of the Clipper Round the World yacht race. That's not what we're talking about here today. What we're talking about and what I want to hear from you guys about is, what is your normal? How do you reset your normal? That is the topic that people have asked me to speak about today. I guess what really is normal for people is what they condition themselves to believe, and what we condition ourselves to believe generally is what we're told by those around us and in the environment that we keep. So if you're wrapped up in a cotton wool environment, people don't jump out of their comfort zone or don't go and do different crazy things, then if you tell them that you're going out to run 10K, like Ali Khaled that just joined us, he likes to go and run 10K, and you tell those people, oh, I'm going to go and run 10K, they're going to turn around to you and they're going to go, oh, that's super crazy, it's really stupid, you definitely shouldn't be doing it. Guys, it's only 10K. It's not the end of the world. But if you're surrounded in an environment of people that don't believe that they can, Ali, you knew it, great subject, BKD_TRIS tries, he likes this subject. Ali, you love this subject as well. You're always talking about environment, mate. Come on, you must have some comments. You're always good for getting these conversations started anyway. But if you're in an environment of people that don't think that achievement is easy or don't think that achievement is possible, they probably don't think it's easy anyway. They probably think it's way too hard and they won't do it. They'll always tell you, if you're going to turn around and say, oh, I'm going to go and do this, or I'm going to study for this, or I'm going to go and do this particular sports event, they're going to say, oh, that's just so unnormal, you just shouldn't be doing that. First mistake, fix your environment. A lot of the time your environment is not right. Over the last few years, I've actually subjected myself to different environments where people are a lot more maybe out there than what I am, so that when I've turned around to them and said, oh, I'm thinking about doing this, the first thing they say is, that sounds like a really good idea. So you need to be in an environment where people maybe have what I would call compared to the general population, a slightly different version of what normal should really be. It also goes back to what actually normal is, and I guess society tells us what normal should be. And as we go through life at the moment, and as society is changing a lot, people say you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that, and you shouldn't be doing the other. And I think the more that we listen to those people, the less that we'll actually end up achieving. And by this I mean we listen in a number of different ways. There's a lot of people that say through social media you shouldn't be doing certain things. Or when people say, when people post something, people say, oh, that's a little bit dangerous. My mum's really good for this. She doesn't do Instagram Live, so I can talk about it. Like, when I say I'm going to go and do a certain event, she'll like, oh, be careful. That's because she loves me, and that's all good. But sometimes I just turn around and say, Mum, it's going to be cool. It's all good. I was made to do this. I'm going to be safe. I'm not trying to put myself in danger. Just let me go out and do it. And I think that's something that's really important. Haysom agrees as well with that, as does Miss Akirage. She's a massive cyclist getting trained by Flanners at the moment. I actually have been stalking her numbers on Training Peaks and seeing that she's getting a lot better. She is resetting her normal. She's trying to do something a little bit out of her comfort zone as well, which is awesome. O-Train has just joined us. He's got a really good story. O-Train, give us a few comments about your normal. Some good comments coming in here from Dan in Cape Town. If we're always progressing, does normal exist? I'm just an average CrossFit athlete, but my normal is now totally different from my normal last year. Do we need normal? Mate, I love it. I'm absolutely with you there. And I think that's one of the most important things is we define what our normal is or what's normal for us. And we should stop letting other people in to try and define it for us, if that makes sense. So what was normal in this case, a year ago for Dan in Cape Town is now like it's different, and his normal starts to change. And I think that links directly back into actually setting goals. And once you have a goal, you reach your goal. And for some people, and I think this is really important, because it's not all about doing an ultra marathon or being a CrossFit athlete at the highest level or cycling up the biggest mountain. For some people, this small distance, maybe a little bit longer, 100 meters, 200 meters, could be the biggest stretch of their physical ability to run that right now. And I respect that, and I'm here to motivate you and to help you to run whatever your biggest and most scary distance is. And I'm not joking. For some people, we've had them come through the gym. Mohammed Al-Qasimi was 235 kilos when he came in. When he came in and he saw people doing, for example, burpees, he's like, this is just not normal. I'm never going to be able to do it. And all these thoughts go through his head. Now he walks in and says, how many burpees do you want me to do? He's lost 100 kilos. So as Dan was saying there, his interpretation of what normal is to him is moving. Same as his goal has moved. The first goal for him was just to lose 1 or 2 kilos in the first week that he was here. And that moves and it progresses. I told him, because I wanted him to be aware that we were committed to making that happen, I told him he'd lose 100 kilos within the first year or so. And obviously he doesn't really believe me because it's just so big. So the needle starts to move and the goals start to be reset. One of the craziest things is actually being around people that don't really care about what normal is for you and how people have told you to define it, but actually see some potential within you and go, yes, you can do this. Yes, you can do those burpees, or yes, you can run 200 meters, or yes, you can do something as simple if you're on a weight loss journey of losing 1 to 2 kilos a week, or even 2 kilos a month, if that's where you're at with it. And I think a lot of the time we sit around and we discuss with other people who are maybe not quite on the same wavelength as us. And I think that's what I'm saying at the start. It's really important, and it has to go back to the environment and to make sure that you're with people that when you say, I'm gonna run 5K, they're gonna say, yeah, that's great. But as soon as you finish, they're gonna say, what's next? Where are you pushing your new normal to? So if you wanna define your new normal and push your normal out and really achieve stuff, as with all goal setting, one of the most important things to do is take an inventory of what you've got now. Where are you really at? And this is what I see maybe not enough people doing. And for everyone that I coach, I'll just ask them to send me some details. I'll say, where are you at right now? Give me some details of where you're at. What are your goals? Where have you been? Where have you come from? What are you doing? And it's a massive stock take of what's going on. Keep that thought in mind. O-Train says he has a lot of success from India, better and better out of the comfort zone. Yeah, exactly. When I met O-Train, it was on a beach in Thailand at his brother's wedding. He was incredibly overweight, and we sort of had a load of different conversations about what he could potentially achieve. And he went back, and over the last 3 or 4 years, he's absolutely made it happen. So big up to you, O-Train. Thanks as always for tuning in and for your support, buddy. Going back to what I was saying there is the first step, you need to take inventory of what's going on. You need to understand where you're currently at. Also, we do this quite a lot in business world. We do what they call a SWOT analysis. We look at our strengths, we look at our weaknesses, we look at our opportunities, we look at the threats. It's really straightforward. We need to do that more in physical performance. So whenever I start working with someone, an online client, or even a client that I work with one-on-one in person, I'll always just ask them to give me a history of what's been going on. What weight did you used to be? How did you eat? What training have you done? It's really important that we understand this, not only me as a coach, but also you guys as individuals that have specific goals that you want to try and achieve. So the inventory is super, super important. Here's Ben. He might want to jump on our show.
Yo.
He said something. Ben, we're talking today about how to reset your normal. What do you think about normal people? Boring. And he's Welsh, they're really boring. So it's really about understanding what you've got and what you've got to work with. And I think that is something that a lot of people don't do. They'll be like, okay, I want to put myself out of my comfort zone. I want to start to challenge myself. I want to see exactly how far I can push, but they don't really understand like where they're at the moment. And that is one way of doing it. You're like, I'm going to pick something that is just so out there and so crazy, and I'm just going to make it happen no matter what. A lot of the time, without understanding sort of where you're at, those things get a little bit different. For example, someone comes to me, they say they want to run a marathon, okay? Everyone can run a marathon, it's super straightforward. But what I want to understand first is exactly what running they've been doing, what training they've been doing, what their lifestyle habits are, and how their body looks. Not looks as in aesthetics, but are they carrying a lot of weight? And this is where we see in marathon running for sure, people run into so many issues because they want to run a marathon before they've been able to run 3K or 5K. They're unable to run 3K or 5K in a respectable time for them because they're carrying too much weight, for example. So if we sit back and we make an inventory of what's going on, how much weight they're carrying, we can say, okay, yeah, you can run a marathon, but to get to that marathon, we need to go through these checkpoints. We need to do 3K, 5K, 10K, 21K, and then you earn the right to do a 42K. And then your 3K, which was a stretch goal at the start, becomes your normal, which is what Dan in South Africa was saying just before. Your 3K at the start becomes your normal. 5K as well, probably pretty normal, until a stage where you've maybe done multiple marathons, and then you go into ultra marathons. Now that is a different game. And whilst we're talking about ultra marathons, got to give a big shout out to two of my homies, Brian Keane Fitness. Go and check him out. I was on his podcast recently, got some really awesome feedback from that. So if you don't have anything to do this weekend, which I'm sure loads of you have loads to do this weekend, but go and check out Brian Keane Fitness podcast. Some interesting stuff on there, not only my show, but his show. He's running Marathon des Sables at the moment. They've just finished the long day, which is 86K this year. And also my other man, Rickson D'Souza, who actually prepared for Marathon des Sables. I coached him all the way through, and I'm still trying to help him out when he's in the Sahara by sending him emails every single day. Think about how they have just redefined their normal by doing something absolutely enormous. You imagine these guys are running 250K through the Sahara Desert at the moment. Imagine they get back and you say, let's go for 5K. They're gonna go, of course, absolutely no problem at all. So what do you guys think? What is normal to you these days? How do you reset it? How do you approach it? Do you listen to people when they say you can't do something, or do you simply turn around and go, no, I can? You might be normal. And this is one of the things, great quote from a really good friend of mine. He says like, normal, isn't that like average? And he's like, I just don't want to be average. I don't want to be normal. Now, you don't have to have a constant thirst for jumping out and for being extraordinary, but you just need to make sure that you keep on pushing your normal. For me, to sum this little topic up, which I absolutely love this topic, thanks guys for sending it in to me. Normal is defined by you. If you want to call it normal, if you want to link it to those around you, that's absolutely fine, so long as those around you are pushing the limits of themselves and help you to push your own limits as well. Mohammed, nice to see you before you fly. Good luck to you. He's another great example. Mohammed's just joined the show there. Used to be 197 kilos, lost 100 kilos. His normal has changed quite a lot. For him, normal was going to Burger King. We did a great podcast with him a few months ago. His normal was going to Burger King and eating like super upsize, all of this stuff. Now his normal is going to the cycling track. His normal is doing triathlons. His normal is now becoming doing half Ironmans. And his normal, what he wants to set his normal as, is ultimately a full Ironman. So that's super cool. Michelle says something nice. I can and I have 6 weeks ago. My normal got its butt kicked out the door thanks to Marcus. There we go. Yeah. It was different as well. Michelle's lost 4.5 kilos in the last She took 5 weeks to lose 4.5 kilos, absolutely amazing. And I know when she came in and I told her that she could do it, her face kind of went a bit blank and she was like, yeah, I think I can, but I'm not too sure. She absolutely crushed it, so well done. Island of Luke, he redefines normal. Mate, thanks a lot for joining. We're talking all about how you redefine and reset your normal. I don't know, what's normal to you? You do some crazy stuff. Kasim, the goal is full Ironman, inshallah, soon. My friend, I'm absolutely sure that you will do a full Ironman one day when you're ready for it. You were a great case though, mate. You've also gone through a sprint distance triathlon. You went to an Olympic distance triathlon. You then went to a half Ironman, and now you're thinking you're doing another half Ironman, I think, Mohammed, in Astana in June. You probably do one more, and then we'll look to send you to a full Ironman. So you're kind of redefining your normal all the way through. And you're also, as I was saying before, you're earning this rite of passage to go through. You also ran a marathon. Yes, before you couldn't run at all. Yeah, we know you ran Dubai Marathon. Do you not have a plane to catch, mate? I can't get rid of you. Even on WhatsApp, you messaged me the whole day, and now you're catching me on Instagram Live. But mate, you're a massive role model for a number of people, and you've really defined and redefined what your normal is. And one thing before we let Mohammed go on his flight is when Mohammed hits a goal, he just keeps thinking about the next goal. And that's what I'm saying. He did a sprint distance triathlon, and then he thought, what's next? And then he did Olympic distance, thought, what's next? Half Ironman. So we've got to keep on redefining it. What's normal for you guys today is not going to be normal in 3 to 6 months, hopefully. Fingers crossed it's not. If it is, then you've not actually progressed and gone anywhere. So it's all down to goal setting. Take inventory, set your goals clearly, and just have a constant burning desire to get a lot better at what you're doing. I think that's one of the things as well. We don't want to be the same person we were last year. We don't want to be that same person this year. We want to feel, especially in physical challenges, that we've pushed ourselves. We want to feel that in every domain that we work within, we're actually getting better and better and better. And that doesn't always mean, we've spoken a lot today about big challenges such as marathons, such as Ironman triathlons, and these kind of things. You can redefine your normal by just doing simple things every single day better. Loving your loved ones better, being kinder to your work colleagues, coming to work with more of a positive attitude, because your energy and your attitude that you take into the workplace has a massive impact on those around you and in turn you. So that can be a redefinition of exactly what your normal is. That's my thoughts on how you redefine your normal. Thanks to everyone who's joined. Thanks to the comments there. Mohammed, great story. Michelle's done absolutely awesome. Owen, big respect to what you've done, mate. Absolutely cool. Great comment there. Dan from South Africa, he just keeps on pushing his normal forward and forward the whole time. Thanks a lot for joining me today, guys. Really appreciate it. Keep those questions coming in. Remember, as I said, we just had a great inner talk here this morning at Inner Fight with Sarah Usher. You're gonna be able to check that out on the podcast next week, and make sure you check out this week's podcast. It's come out today. It's absolutely awesome. Go check it out right now. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And thank you for all of your support.